Listen up, this is Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. It's time for your escape from everyday life. It's time for the Furlough Podcast with Dave and Chris, starting right now.
I don't wanna get on the bandwagon. I'll burn that wagon down and join the band.
Them guys sound good.
Man, we need to figure out where's the closest place they're going to be.
Yeah.
We need to look at their schedule.
Yeah.
All that, listen, that's Small Town Titans.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's he's just got a good voice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just so clean.
Yeah.
Huh.
I bet they're bad as fucking live.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I missed that. Welcome back, everybody, for a little podcast. Me and Dave and Chris and Dave, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Round and round. Unfortunately, I missed Dropkick Murphys last night. That was at Avondale.
I was going to ask you about that.
I wanted to go, but I don't know if there was any tickets left. Like I went to thing, and they were already talking about you better take an Uber because it's not the greatest area for parking as far as parking availability.
I thought you bought tickets in advance.
No, I didn't. I wanted to. I was
Oh.
interested in going. I fuck around and didn't get them or whatever, and I was like, then got close, and I was like, fuck it, I won't go because Amber had some stuff to do, so I'd have been running solo through all the screaming girls, which kind of
Yeah.
sounds right by now. Maybe I made a poor decision.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it was a wild show.
Oh yeah, man. Golly, they're good. But speaking of, right out of the gate,
Mhm.
I'm gonna bust Amber's balls.
Let's do it.
You ready to bust Amber's balls?
Yeah.
She's gonna love this. So years ago, when Amber's not this bad anymore, but years ago when we first started dating, her love and care for me was such to the point where I was 15 minutes late home one day, and she's already calling our police officer friend that's in between here and there to make sure everything. Call my other buddy that I work with. Everybody knows Joe. He's like, oh, he left at regular time, blah, blah. So I was like 15, 20 minutes late. She's damn all up in, figuring out, I was just worried about you.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I wake up this morning, for people that know, Amber runs Club South, Birmingham. Great bar. Should go. Everybody there. Well, they closed early last night. Early being like around 12:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she was kind of spent, tired. She thought, well, she got everybody out of there. And, the little back room, her little lay down room area that her dad's got. Joe calls it the murder room. Because he said it was like something off a horror movie. So apparently, and I'm asleep, but Amber decides she's going to take a little rest at the bar, because ghosts don't bother her.
Yeah. In the murder room?
In the murder room. So it goes back to what you were saying, if this place is a fucking bloodbath.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, I wake up this morning, and she's not in bed, and I thought, oh, well, she must be in the other bed, cuddled up with a dog, because I do not allow dogs in my bed.
Mm.
And so I didn't think much about it, and I just stretched out, and I got up and I looked. She wasn't in there. So I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? It's five something in the morning. And I step out and look, and her car's not here. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck?
She didn't send you a text that said,
Nothing.
I'm staying at the bar?
Nothing. And so my whole thing was, and I kind of fucked this story up because I shouldn't have told you where she was at. So my whole thing was, well, where the fuck's she at? So, the only reason I'm able to track her phone with Find My Phone,
Mhm.
Apple thing, is because she rides her motorcycle out, and when she goes on long rides, I want to be able to track in case you don't hear from her.
Right.
So I track her phone, and it says it's at the bar. I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. So I pull up the cameras at the bar, and it's dead quiet. I mean, there's nothing going on. And I pull back the video, and I see him closing up, and it looks like she walks out about 12:30. And so instantly you go into, what the fuck? Kind of panic
She got
mode.
kidnapped.
Did she get kidnapped? Because my whole thing, well, obviously if her phone is saying it's at the bar, did she get busted in the head on the way
Yeah.
out the door, and the phone's laying there? Did she forget her phone? Did she get, arrested for a DUI or end up in a car wreck?
So were you starting to panic at this
Yeah, I
point?
was like, what the fuck? So I started thinking about, what kind of siding I'm going to put on the house with the insurance money,
I'm
'cause
sure that's what you were thinking. Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I was like, what the fuck? So I get ready pretty quick, and I head down there, and I go into the bar, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, because her car's out front.
Mm.
And I'm like, I pull up and there's a car, and I'm like, two other cars I didn't know. I was like, this bitch is getting side dick.
No way.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I go in there and I'm looking around, ain't nothing going on.
It was unlocked, the door?
No, the door was locked. And so I go in and I'm looking around. I'm like, it's too fucking quiet to be getting side dick going on in here.
Yeah.
And then I go to the
Murder room.
the murder room door, and it's locked. And I'm like, bam, 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 and I hear, yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
She fell asleep. She fell hard asleep, slept through alarms and everything.
Oh my God. Damn, man.
I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm looking around. And you always tell when somebody's been asleep. Their eyes are a little puffy and this and that. And I'm just like, I'm looking at her. What the fuck are you doing? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's all she'd say.
Man, I mean I mean, really, I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm sure your mind was racing 1,000 places.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Am I gonna have to kill somebody when I get here? Am I gonna find her dead? What's my alibi? How am I gonna
Yeah.
get? You start thinking about weird shit. So you
Oh
like,
yeah.
so are they gonna believe me when they show my phone records was at the house and I didn't come in? I
Yeah.
didn't come in the bar and kill this chick.
Yeah. It's funny, your mind goes to the most extreme, the
You-
worst
the
thing
worst
possible.
things. You go from was she kidnapped and hurt? Are they gonna blame you?
Right. Not she may have fallen asleep in the murder room,
Yeah,
but
it's like,
she
Jesus.
was abducted.
Yeah, she was abducted. So you're like, what the fuck? So all these weird scenarios, and I mean, your mind plays those weird,
Oh yeah.
weird things on you.
Oh,
And
believe me, I know when you're in a stressful situation. Oh yeah, you tend. I do it too.
yeah,
I think the absolute worst.
yeah,
You
it's
know.
like,
So
what am I gonna have to deal with?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but I guess that's a coping mechanism because if you think the worst, and then once you get there and you realize it's not that bad, then you're like, oh okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was here and the situation's here, so
Yeah.
I'm okay now.
yeah, I'm dialing back.
Yeah, but going from here mentally and you
Yeah.
walk in and it's here, then that's a whole nother problem.
That's a whole nother problem. Yeah, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was worst case scenario. I'm gonna find her fucking slaughtered in the murder room. And, and then
Jeez.
I gotta call the cops and stand there. Can you? And I'm, you think about it. People don't think about this all the time. In the most innocent of situations that could happen, you gotta see yourself sitting in the damn detective's little room, where
Oh yeah.
the video camera. All right, we're gonna talk to you, Chris. We're gonna, They start like, dude, I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I found out she wasn't home. I come to check it out. And they're like, and then, have y'all had marital problems? Have y'all had this? And they start asking you, we're going to review your phone records. And,
Yeah.
and you start thinking, we haven't bitched about anything on the phone, have we? And,
Yeah.
any text message. So all our texts are lovey dovey. So,
Huh.
so I think I'd be all right.
Well, and the next thing you know, then I would see a special on Netflix with you about the I don't know if you've seen that or not.
And
About,
making the murder.
well, the one is where the police coerce these people to
Yeah.
confess to murder or whatever the crime is.
Yeah, I think they'd have a hard time with that. I think with me.
Yeah.
Because I like to believe I'm mentally strong enough to fight that shit.
But some of them, I mean, it's like they were being interrogated for like 36 hours.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's just extreme.
I think after the first thing I'd be like, I want to talk to a lawyer. I want to talk to that.
Yeah.
I would go on repeat.
Yeah.
I'd go on that endless loop of I need to talk to a lawyer. I need
Mhm.
to talk to a lawyer.
Yeah, and that was the mistake that they all made over and over.
over again.
You know, they all seem to be mentally weak, and you're at this vulnerable state. You know, someone, my loved one, whoever, was just killed,
Yeah.
and so the police come in and they play the role of like a friend. Let's get to the bottom of
Yeah.
it. You know.
Out of the gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it starts turning that heat up on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So and then they just keep talking, and then they talk themselves into a hole.
Yeah, talking themselves in a circle. But yeah, man, I was like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
What am I going to deal with?
Yeah, yeah. But well, thankfully, everybody's
Thankfully,
alive.
She was fine, but
Yes.
yeah, but it makes you think of your mental state, man. You got to make sure, make sure you got those alibis. You
Yeah.
never know if you got a loved one that goes out a lot and comes in late. You better make sure you got those good alibis, and people don't think that because people turn on you. People
Mhm.
turn on you. I always thought he was a little mean, or I always thought he was that.
Yeah.
You heard his last show where he told that chick down the street. He was going to just, she wanted to slaughter the dog. And, yeah,
Then that clip of the
That-
podcast would be played in court.
admissible in court. That'd be like, I was just trying to. The two
Yeah.
cops that were there would come up. Yeah, he looked like he was a little off his shit.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you just never know. But you're absolutely right. It is funny how people will change and flip on you.
They will, man. If you and it's funny. It's like if you're successful, everybody knows you from when, right?
Mm,
Or if something goes wrong, and let's just not even say you're a dirtbag, but just say something goes wrong, things just go down a fucked up path, and then people are just snotty, and they're like, yeah, I always had that gut feeling, I always had that, this and that, and I knew, and it's sort of like cheating. Like if you hear of a couple, let's dial it back from extremeness to simple, cheating, guy or girl, it doesn't matter which side. Whoever got cheated on, everybody sides with that person, and they're like, oh yeah, I know he or she wasn't no good for them, and I know, yeah, I always felt her. He said something creepy to me one time, and I just let it go because you're my friend, and it's
Yeah.
just that whole unraveling of people just fucking weird.
yeah.
Because I heard of somebody not long ago, and it was some scenario like that. I guess a couple was having issues, and I'm like, really? And my response versus, oh yeah, I didn't think that person. And my response was, really?
Yeah.
That threw me a look, because you don't know what really goes on. You only hear one side of the story,
Oh, absolutely.
and so. But
Yeah.
man, people will fucking, especially with social media nowadays.
Oh.
Holy smokes, man!
Yeah. Well, what I can't get over is the way people air out their personal business on social media. I just can't. Believe it or not, I mean, I'm such a private person. I do this and I put this out there, but as far as posted on Instagram or Facebook, I mean, you just don't see it much from me.
No, me neither. At least I don't think so.
Yeah.
That I think of. I'm usually trying to post something funny or
Right.
whatever. But
But people are posting their divorce. I've seen arguments over there over just
Yeah.
ridiculous things. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, why?
well, I mean, at least for what we do this is our therapy, if you will. We get to vent things or laugh about stuff. At least you can hear it in context
Yeah.
of what we're saying. I think a lot of times people forget. One of the hardest things I had to deal with when texting became all the mainstream is seeing context of the message.
Right.
You really, nowadays people can kind of tell the context of a message much better than they used to.
Mhm.
Used to, it's like, wait a second, what's this motherfucker saying?
Am I about to fight?
Yeah, it's like he's just the way he's saying it. I mean, I don't know, it's like, maybe I should have read books more, it's like I don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you just miss that whole context of everything.
Yeah.
And but yeah, man, social media. I had somebody, and I doubt this person listens to this show anyway, but I post that thing of that little meme on social media. It says it says, I hope I don't fuck it up. It says, you ever read some chick's profile thing or timeline, and you think, God, I wish somebody would treat her right so she'd shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I posted that, and then I noticed a few days later that I didn't see any more posts from this particular person. So I went to their thing, and I'm still friends with them on the thing. And then I saw some more of those posts, and I was like, they blocked me somehow to
Oh
where I
my
don't get the
God.
thing. But I was like, they knew I was talking about them.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. And it was you. I said it. I'm so fucking tired. And it's the let's see if I say it right, the perpetual train wreck.
Yeah.
It's the same person, and it's a different scenario every couple months. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm in love this piece of shit. Oh, I'm in love this
Right.
piece of shit. Oh, I'm in love this piece of shit.
Oh,
And you think
maybe you
these
got to
are-
look internal.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's like how many times it's like, if I walked into that door frame over there, I couldn't be mad at that door frame after the second or third time. I'd be like, it's me.
But some people fail to be able to have any kind of introspective,
Mhm.
and it's the problem is all around,
Sure.
and you have to be able to self-evaluate, and that's what's good about our friendship is,
Uh-huh.
we've been honest with each other
Yeah.
about a lot of things,
Yeah.
And I know that, and we still laugh about it today, that you said something that I felt was out of line, and I kind of lost my shit a little bit.
Then it turned out true. Then it turned out true. I
But
said it. I said it out loud.
but I mean, it was crazy. But it's just
Well,
is what-
it's but that particular scenario was okay because at the time you responded how you felt was a correct response,
Mm,
and there was no judgment on my part. I made a statement based off of what I felt was a correct statement, and it just washed out for one versus the other.
yeah,
And so, but it's okay. I mean, that's life
yeah,
because everything changes from day to day. One of us could have been right, one of us could have been wrong. It could have went either way.
yeah,
And it just so you can't say "ha ha, I told you so" too much because it really honestly it's the fork in the road. And I'll date myself a little bit, but I was watching a documentary the other day and it was talking about Merle Haggard, and he's dead and gone now, but he was talking about how when he had busted out of 17 juvenile detention centers growing up.
Jesus,
He was just wild as fuck. He left home, I think the first time he ran away at 10 years old.
God,
And then he ran away again at 14. And they kept catching him and throwing him in juvenile detention center because he wouldn't go to school. Right?
hmm?
And so he ended up in San Quentin prison.
What, at
At
16?
No, at 20.
Oh,
Okay. And said that, and he was talking about it, and I found it fascinating. It was what I'm getting to is the fork in the road. He said when he was in there, there was these two other guys that was in there, and Merle Haggard was apparently very good at escaping shit.
hmm,
But this was his first maximum security prison, and he found out and even got invited to escape with these two other guys from San Quentin,
yeah,
and he was all in. He's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going." And then the guy turned around and told him, he goes, before they went, he says, "No," he goes, you can sing and you can play the guitar good. He goes, "You got a future." And this guy was much older.
hmm,
And he said that, he says, "You don't need to go with us." But he was still all game. Well, he made that choice in that fork in the road where he didn't go.
yeah,
Well, the other two guys did escape, but they got caught, and one of them ended up shooting a cop during the getting caught, and they got brought back to San Quentin and ended up getting put to death.
Jesus,
And so he ended up seeing Johnny Cash, and that was his light bulb. But this is what I want to do because he did play and sing guitar. And so look what he ended up being, a superstar.
yeah,
So you make that fork in the road. You
Mhm.
going left or you going right? And I know that I've had personal experiences in the past where I've actually chosen the wrong fork, went down that road, but was able to cut a trail back to the right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, and we're faced with that all the time, whether it be relationships, jobs, whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, do you take this job? Do you not? Do you stick with what you got? Because I mean, that's a definite fork in the road.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
it changed your future.
Yeah.
So, and God knows my history in dating that I've taken the wrong fork a few times. So,
You took the wrong ladle a few times.
yeah. Oh man, oh man.
But-
But it makes for funny stories now.
Oh, for sure.
But
It
it's
makes you-
painful at the time.
It makes you who you are, right?
Oh yeah.
And so, and back to the social media thing I posted that thing not to cause strife with this person, but I do want them to, because I think the person is a good person, but I do think they're a little bit batshit crazy.
hmm
And so it goes back to that looking inward thing. She needs to, square herself up. you
Yeah.
know, and
I
we
have
all
a
do.
feeling I know who you're talking about.
I don't think you do. I
Oh.
think this
Oh.
might really throw you for you. Be like,
Oh,
you're like, I don't know that
a
person.
different crazy person.
Yeah, there's plenty. I got plenty of crazies around me.
Yeah.
So
So before we get off too far off track, I just want to make sure that I call out Miranda Young. She has an event tomorrow in Chattanooga. If anybody is able to attend, I would definitely stop by. It's going to be at the Chattanooga Harley Davidson shop
Mhm.
from 11 to 1, I think, or 11 to 2. But if you get there at 11, you won't miss it. So,
excellent. And let's give a shout out to, not really shout out. Our condolences to Amber and Miranda, who have both lost puppies in these last 2 weeks. Amber lost one a week ago, and as we all know, we talked about on the other show. And then Miranda, unfortunately, has lost her longtime little friend
This morning, I believe.
Yes, today. Yes.
Yeah.
So as a Friday,
Yeah.
but you know, boy, I will get you. I will make sure there's some Xanax or whatever the day that yours go down.
I can't even think. I don't even like to think about it because it's gonna
We'll
be.
be ready though. We're gonna have crying towels. We're gonna have shots of liquor. We're gonna
Oh,
have a few knock you down drugs,
yeah.
prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna have to take bereavement from work. I don't know how I'll be able to cope.
yeah,
So,
holy shit,
but no, that's gonna be a dark day for
that's
sure.
a dark day. Or you mean a dark month? Holy fuck, man!
Yeah. So if you ever see Chris do a show by himself,
For
you'll
a
know.
month. When you see about 5 or 6 shows, I'm all by myself, all centered up, and I'll be talking about fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it light, but Dave will not be here that month. Just go on and just let you know. We'll post up on social media, all the smiling pics of y'all cheek to cheek and
Listen, he's got many years left to live, so ain't no point talking about it.
see, look, you getting all wound up right now, but your
No.
palms are sweaty.
Yeah, that's my buddy. He's my absolute best buddy. But that's the way dogs are.
Should be.
Yeah, they should be. You're right. I mean, they're pack animals, and so they stick to you.
Yeah. I don't know. We get some knuckleheads sometimes, and I have not had that connection to an animal of any kind since I was young, like elementary school age.
Hmm. My brother's the same way. I have a brother exactly like that. He says I cannot understand why someone would have a pet. He goes, "What is the point? There's no point in having a pet. It's pointless."
I agree. I mean, I really do. I mean, I hate to say it, and I get everybody's got a different thing, and I don't down anybody for having. I think it's awesome that you have, Dexter, and you and Dexter have the relationships y'all have. I don't always agree with taking your dog every fucking where you go, but hey,
Well,
that's you. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying, and that's not me. But I just don't. It makes you wonder what clicks in people like me. I don't give 2 fucks, man. I could live the rest of my life and never have a pet.
But so when you come home from work, it's a good feeling to have a couple dogs run up to you. It just is.
When I come home from work, I'm thinking, fuck, I gotta walk this motherfucker. I gotta feed this motherfucker. I gotta do more shit. When I walk in the door, I want to be able to throw my bag down and go, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to come home to more work.
Okay.
I don't
I guess
have
we just view it
I
differently.
don't have to get up to work. So as my every day I get up. My routine's I get up and I gotta walk these motherfuckers. I gotta feed these motherfuckers before. I mean, that's 15, 20 minutes out of my morning. I feel like a girl having to put her makeup on. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, you have a terrible life.
I
You
know
know
it's
that?
horrible,
God
but
damn.
not really. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's routine now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. I feel like how girls bitch about they have to get up, and I agree with them. They have to get up, they have to put the war paint on,
Mm,
and do
mm.
their hair, do whatever. I get what they're saying because it's the same way when you're dealing with animals. You got to get up and you have to. And people go, "What about if your kids?" Well, you fucking raise them right. By 4 years, you're good. You'll be start doing their own shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should go to an animal shelter because I'm sure there's one out there somewhere that will touch you.
Oh,
Yeah.
just break my heart, and then
Yeah.
I'll be pissed off.
Yeah. And then I'll be out in town somewhere with my dog, and then I'll see you walking your dog. What the hell? So,
Yeah,
but it
little-
could happen.
Little whistling along.
I just like having him at bars and breweries with me, and it's a
Well, the great thing about Dexter is the whole backstory. The fact,
Mhm.
I mean, it's a made for TV,
yeah.
lifetime,
No
tear
doubt.
tear your heart out story. So for people that don't know, Dave literally got this fucking dog out of a box in the middle of a parking lot
Yeah.
in the not so great part of town,
Yeah.
and it
What I was in a
rags to riches story for the dog.
Oh yeah. So he actually got thrown out. There was about 6 of them.
Mhm.
Got thrown into a handicapped parking space at a Walmart.
Yeah.
While I was waiting for a pizza. I hadn't left my room in days because I went through a bad breakup.
Mm-hmm.
The woman that I was planning on spending the rest of my life with, uh,
Ripped your
But
heart out and threw it through a meat grinder
yeah,
and
yeah,
then drank it like a shake.
yeah. So I mean, that was I was having a hard time with that. So I order a pizza, and so I figured let me drive over there just so I can get a little sunshine on me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't ready, so I go across the street to get bread and milk, and that's when they throw the dogs out. And I didn't even want one. And the dogs are going every which way. People's grabbing them. And a woman with like 3 kids, all the kids had their own dog, and she begged me to take one. And I said, I'm just not in. I'm not a dog guy. I've never had one.
Hmm.
And she said, please. She goes, I can't take 4. I mean, that's too much. And I said, well, if I was to take one, I'll take that one over there. And she goes, fine. And she grabs it, hands it to me, and the kid is screaming at the top of her lungs. And I go, forget it. Just take that. I said, I don't want to hear all that. I said, I'm not in the mood. I'm just barely able to leave the house right now. So she goes, no, 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 it'll be fine. She goes, she'll just quit crying, gave the dog back to me, and that was it, you know? And I mean, he hit the jackpot.
He hit the fucking jackpot, dude. He'd be out in the backyard of some shithouse town right now if it wasn't for you.
The other ones are probably dead, if I had to guess. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
But
Yours lives like a fucking king.
you better believe he does.
And,
Yeah.
and this is a story we haven't told, and I laugh, is when we were at the brewery and we go in to pay, and you tell him to stay on the damn
Mhm.
bench.
Yeah.
And it fascinated those couples that were sitting there because we went around the corner in the building, way in the building, paid our tab, and the whole time they were trying to get that fucking dog to come off off that bench
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
play with them. He was like, nope, I'm not having it. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for my boss man,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing shit. Fuck y'all.
But he does it all the time, and it just blows people away that I've trained him to that point.
It blows me away. It blows me away. I mean, that's camaraderie right there.
Yeah.
But see, you know what? I don't think you could have done that if you had a wife or a girlfriend in the house.
You're probably no. I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
I think that was a situation to where you two, as funny as it sounds, are a couple. I mean, you two, you know what I'm saying? Y'all two are a pair. Y'all are,
Yeah.
you know, freaking frack. I mean, he doesn't know, you know, during his developing years.
Yeah. I'm
You
all
know,
he knows.
Yeah, all he knows.
Mhm.
So if he was playing the game like a kid, where if he was playing it between you and somebody else, you know, who's coming home this and that,
Yeah.
I don't think that you'd have got that
No.
that discipline out of him.
No, you're absolutely right. Plus, once in a while, about once a week, I always whisper in his ear that if you ever leave that bench, you'll never have a better life. So go ahead and try it if you want to leave. So, but no, he's a good dog. So actually, I'm gonna pick him up right after this. That's
Oh, I
why
bet you are.
I can't play.
I can't wait you to rub his head.
Well, it's time. It's time to go have some drinks and enjoy the weekend.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
He's probably stretching, going.
And listen,
Party
he's a
time.
good conversation piece. You
Oh
don't-
yeah,
you-
he break the ice pretty quick.
I'm gonna tell you. I mean,
Well, that's what they say. If you want to pick up girls, have a puppy or somebody else's kid.
yeah, yeah. I can't. I've countless women. You know, I've that's been the icebreaker for.
Mhm.
You know, so, but I mean, it is what it is. You
It
know.
is what it You're gonna have his face tattooed on your chest after he crosses the little rainbow bridge, as they say.
I may do it beforehand.
Oh,
actually.
Well, if you know, stay gold tattoo right down there.
Yeah.
And they were sponsors on the last thing. They probably hook you up with it.
Yep. Yep.
Oh
Huh.
man, I'm looking. So hold on a sec. Sorry about that. I couldn't see. I had to stretch.
Yeah.
But
So-
no, that's it, man.
So, what do you guys got planned for the weekend? Anything?
Well, since my wife doesn't come home, I may go find me a side chick and move her in the side room. What do you think? How long will that work out?
Then you will have your own murder room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that when you come over and you open the door and see everything? You just pull the door shut and God let them handle that.
Yeah.
Start
No way.
working on your alibi.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't know what the plans are. We may, you never know. We may go hit a couple breweries ourselves.
Mhm.
So we may run into you. You gonna be at your regular stomping grounds, or you gonna go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll hit you up before you leave. See where you're at. See what she's doing.
Yep.
Knowing her, she probably wants to take another nap. She's a professional napper. People always talking about, do you worry about your wife doing this and doing that? It's like, fuck no. If you ever find her, she's curled up like a cat somewhere
Yeah.
sleeping.
Yeah. Well, she does keep a lot of late nights at the bar.
She does.
So,
She
I
does.
get it.
She's a but I think it's 50-50. Don't get her wrong. She don't have a lot of running around time. She hits that no snooze button quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. But,
That's it, man. But I don't have much of a light day for us.
yeah.
You got anything else going on?
No, that's pretty much it. Just a hard week. So I'm just gonna take it easy. Today and tomorrow, and that's it.
That's it, man. All right. Well, shit, we can cut it short tonight. You
Yeah.
want to? We go get the dogs and let you drink some beer
Go ahead
and
and start the weekend.
start the weekend.
You
All
ready?
right, all right, man. Take us out here with old John if you got that one.
Oh,
We do that one.
yeah.
This is the Furlough Podcast, brought to you by All American Ford in Aniana, Alabama. Stop by and see John Makovica and his team today.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.